Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. Today is Warship Wednesday. Now, I've been doing videos 2 days a week, but I had to put this video out. I played this game, I recorded it, and then Wargaming introduced the Cossack 38 into the game. This Cossack that you're seeing is like a Cossack 40 or 41 or something like that. Whenever it was reworked, and if you give me a minute, I can tell you when it was reworked. Okay, maybe I can't tell you when it was reworked. Modifications. It was modified in May of 1940. All right, so we have the Cossack June 1940 here, the Cossack 1938. Essentially, it has 4 turrets instead of just 3, and allegedly has worse AA, although I would tell you I don't think this Cossack is an AA powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination. But maybe it is, and I'm just selling it short because I don't do a review, and the port already did a ship review of this thing, so yeah, I don't know what to think. Originally, I was very angry because I'm like, I wouldn't have bought this if I had known another version of it was coming out, because then I could see both versions and compare them. As a gunboat, obviously, if you have 4 turrets instead of just 3 turrets, you're going to perform better, and believe it or not, that's what this thing is, no matter way you slice it. Now, we do have sonar in the original Cossack, and the Cossack 38 does not have sonar, and allegedly it has weaker, longer reloading torpedoes or something like that. But again, that's just going to help you have a better game overall. The torpedoes are definitely not a primary weapon here in the Cossack. All right, our enemy smoked up. This is really short-range sonar, so I'm going to turn in and hopefully spot him. We do spot him. Akatsuki trying to get away, and these good guns, good ballistics, good reload, we're dodging the torpedoes, and somebody else gets the kill.
Good show.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Alright, so right here I'm like, I am dead. Akatsuki torpedo coming right for me. Alright, well, it did not kill me. So here's going to be a valuable lesson, everybody. How do you have a good game if most of your health just got taken away by an enemy destroyer and you don't have a lot of torpedoes to do damage with? Well, that is simple. Do everything else that you can do, which is cap bases, spot enemy ships, prevent enemies from capping the base using maybe your smoke sonar combo. Not saying you're going to see that in this match, but you're going to have to do the little things once you take this kind of damage. And now, granted, if the Akatsuki had hit some other destroyers with that torpedo, maybe they'd be dead right now. Maybe they don't have as many hit points as the Cossack does. So keep that in mind when I am talking about all these things. All right, here is the enemy Moss. He is doing whatever he's doing. We are going to, he spotted us. He should be lighting us up right now. We are just going to send out tube by tube a full spread of torpedoes and go into this handy smoke screen. We are turning, so all 3 of our turrets will be on target, and by turning, we avoided the Moss's torpedoes. As you can see, the Moss was not expecting my torpedoes or couldn't get out of the way. Devastating strike, kill number 1 in the Cossack. So yeah, I'm really ambivalent about the other Cossack. We pick up assisted base cap there. I don't know whether to be angry that I got screwed because I bought this one, or to be happy because a lot of people are saying it's not that great. This ship isn't that great. They're both not great. So unless you have to have this thing, or you have to have the Cossack 38, don't buy either of them. But if you have to have them, you're going to have to decide, do you want AA and sonar? Short range sonar, which isn't going to allow you to do the smoke sonar combo very effectively. Or do you want 8 turrets and be able to roll out more of a gunboat? Because that's what the Cossack 38 is. And truth be told, if I had had the option of either of them, I probably would have gone for the 8 gun. Did I say 8 turrets earlier? The 8 gun or 4 turret Cossack. I probably would have bought the OG, because I'm sorry, carriers still aren't that prevalent in this game. And so I think I could deal with occasionally having a carrier match as opposed to being a worse gunboat than, say, the Orkan or the Oland, And the sonar short range, so you're not really getting a lot of value there. That's just my opinion. All right. So here we capped Alpha or capped Charlie. We're moving into Bravo. And we're just going to cap Bravo. I mean, come on, folks. This is what you have to do. Targets of opportunity with these torpedoes. They have a long reload. They don't do a ton of damage. So you're going to have to cap bases. And then when you can get an enemy ship stupidly blundering into your torpedo range, you're going to have to use the torpedo launcher. And I do prefer the single tube launch because it allows you to get a really tight spread or, 2 here, 2 there, in case you got multiple enemies. Allows you to do a little bit more in terms of how those torpedoes come out. Because you only have 4 of them, and they still have a regular torpedo reload, meaning it's not like I only have 4 torpedoes and it takes half the time to reload. Oh, no. It takes the same amount that other torpedoes take to reload. Okay, generally speaking. I think it's around 90 seconds. All right, so here we're going to get a solo base cap of Bravo. And again, I don't even have 4,000 hit points left. Less than 4,000 hit points. So at this point, instead of going to look for trouble around the other side of the island, hey, nobody capped Alpha yet. Let's go cap Alpha. All right. I will say I think this Cossack is more of a utilitarian ship simply because it has better AA and sonar. But that being said, I think all things considered, I would have liked the option to get rid of this for the Cossack 38, and I'll just deal with no AA. I mean, I got plenty of destroyers with no AA as it is. In fact, the entire French line is practically obsolete now because it doesn't have AA. Any good AA, anyway, and it doesn't have smoke screens. So, wargaming obsoleting entire ship lines, changing one thing about a ship and then reintroducing it with a new year. When are we getting the next West Virginia in the game? Somebody's been crying on Reddit for months now about wanting the World War I version of New Mexico. I mean, it's just like, Jesus, are you for real? The first New Mexico is nothing to write home about. Why would you want 2 of them in the game? So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff we deal with. They took the Gangoot, they added bow armor, they added AA. It's the October Sky Revolution. Now, that really happened in real life. That upgrade really did happen. I think the October Revolution is a pretty good Tier 4 premium. It's not the Julio Cesare, but it's not helpless. It can defend itself against carriers. So, at the end of the day, I just would have liked the option because, again, I wouldn't have bought this if I knew the other one was coming. I just wouldn't have. So here we are in Alpha. Again, the enemy team doesn't seem to understand that the goal of a domination match is to capture the cap circles. There's nobody threatening Charlie whatsoever. I mean, these guys are near Bravo. Are they really threatening Bravo? Not really. And, they're not even really threatening me here in Alpha. So we're just hanging out. I am so tempted to shoot, but I know that I can't because I don't have any hit points. I've got a smoke screen, but my sonar isn't long enough to see out of it. And I can't guarantee that anybody's spotting these guys other than me. So here we're going to launch some torpedoes just speculatively to one way, to the other way. Can't do that with another destroyer unless it's an English destroyer. So that's cool and everything. But essentially, we are using the little things to perform well in this match. And that's something that either Cossack could do. Either Cossack could sit in caps and cap-based caps and stuff like that. But the other Cossack is a better gunfighting ship. That's going to matter in destroyer combat. Because that's usually the thing that wins you the game. Now this Cossack, again, don't be fooled by the sonar. It is not long range. I think it's 4.4 kilometers for enemy ships. So you got to be pretty close to the enemy destroyer to use it anyway. And really, most of them are just going to push in at that point. Or at least I would. I would push in. If you're in a destroyer and you're going up against a Cossack and they try to do the smoke sonar to you, push in. Push in. You might not win, but at least you're going to force him to get into an area where you're going to be able to see him. Okay? So that's what I would do. Plus, just about any destroyer has better torpedoes than this thing. So you torp into his smoke screen if you don't push in. And then he's going to either get killed by the torps or he's going to move out of his own smoke screen. All right? That's how you handle his sonar. So still, nothing changes the fact that this is one of the very weakest destroyers in the game. Is it as weak as the Sims? Okay, I think it's better than the Sims because it has sonar. But I mean, other than that, you know, so it's not the worst tier 6 destroyer anymore, but it's still pretty bad. It is still pretty bad because the Sims has more torpedoes that do more damage, you know, and at the end of the day, when you're done gunboating the destroyers that are near you, if you are still alive, then you're counting on using torpedoes to accrue damage. You're not going to have a high damage game. This isn't a high damage game. We don't even have 40,000 damage yet. We might right now. But yeah, I mean, I still don't have 40,000 damage, and I've never had a game with more than 100,000 damage in this ship. Okay, because enemy destroyers don't have that much damage to get. So even if you're facing all Japanese destroyers and you gunboat them all, you know, or they weren't paying attention, whoever it is, and you just kill them, you're still only going to get like 10, 15,000 damage on each one of them. And then how do you accrue damage in a ship like this? Like I'm doing right now. You gunboat him and you set him on fire, which the Cossack 38 is going to have an advantage because it's going to have more guns as we get another kill. Your smoke sonar combo isn't OP because it's not long range enough. You're going to be outranged by the Germans, you know? And your torpedoes don't do enough damage, and they don't reload quick enough for you to count on the torpedoes to make up that damage loss that you're going to have to every other destroyer in the game, except another Cossack or the Orkan. So we're moving back out of Alpha now. The enemy team really seems to love their spawn point. They don't seem to have ever left it, except the ships who got killed. So we're just shooting more torpedoes. I mean, we're tied right now in terms of ships lost. But we have all the cap circles. And, you know, our team is imposing our will in terms of damaging them. They're just sailing around getting shot at. You know, they don't have any desire to capture these objectives, you know? And so the longer this match goes, the more of a deficit the enemy team is in. Because they're not trying to capture the objectives. All right, so that torpedo spread, we get 3 hits there, and we do damage to New Mexico. But he looks like he's running away, and we are not going to be able to... I don't think we have the range. I hit the wrong button there. Recording that game clip, really, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. All right, we'll just use the regular spread of torpedoes. I'm anticipating he's going to be dead before we get there. So we're just shooting anyway. I mean, whatever. What do I have to lose? I set him on fire. He is taking more damage from off screen. Continuing to gunboat him. Are we going to get the lucky strike here? Nope. We set him on fire again. We do get the kill. All right. I think that's our 3rd kill. I am sans glasses today, so I can barely see. All right. Just a couple ships left, and the game ends because we have all the points. All right, 76,744 total damage. We had a devastating strike. Looks like 5 torpedo strikes, 3 big kills, 2 solo base caps, 1 assisted base cap. Actually made a fair amount of cash here. 757, 120 silver, 12,304 ship XP, over 3,000 green XP, over 21,000 commander XP. In the later OG Cossack, 29 base XP with those 3 big kills. Probably my best Cossack game to date. But I don't think that I want this ship. I want the Cossack 38, and I don't think either of them are any good. I just don't. I don't know why I'm highlighting that guy. He did have 4 kills, so that's pretty good. I think he was down here, if I'm reading that right. So that's funny and embarrassing at the same time. 2 down tier ships, and 1 had 4 kills. So I mean, GG to that guy. But yeah, this is an unimpressive ship. The other ship, apparently, from what I've read, is also the same way. You know.